Welcome to Graya Overload. I'm Anthony, and let's talk a little bit about Nvidia's GPP, the GeForce Partner Program. The GeForce Partner Program has been talked about here for like the last month or so. And I want to go a little bit into the Nvidia blog post about the GeForce Partner Program. But first, I'm going to mention a little background here that over at HardOCP, Kyle Bennett did a wonderful article. AMD had brought to him saying, hey, you might want to take a look at this GPP program. And he went through and talked to AIB's OEMs and just a whole bunch of people. And so he did all this legwork. So I encourage you to go over to HardOCP and read this article. I'll post in the description below. It's a great article, and he deserves you to go and read it because that's how good the article is and his research into this information. He spent weeks putting it all together. So I really do encourage you to go take a look at that. But to start off with this, I want to start with the Nvidia blog post. I'm going to kind of summarize it here, and hopefully, like, you can go read it as well, but I'm hoping that it sets up a little bit about what Nvidia expects this to be. And Nvidia is just trying to make a better system to serve gamers, right? The GeForce Partner Program. So to making sure that they have the best gaming platform, bar none, that, you know, GPU and software of a gaming PC makes a great experience for the gamer. And, you know, with the add-in boards and system partners, they're just going to have the best experience, bar none. And the GeForce Partner Program is to ensure full transparency to the gamers of their platform and software that are being sold, so that they can confidently have select the products that they want. Transparency is only possible, right? To quote this transparency, I'm going to quote this right from the blog. This transparency is only possible when Nvidia brands and partners are consistent. So the new program means that they will be promoting our GPP partners across the web, on social media, at our events, and more. And GPP partners will get early access to our latest innovations and work closely with our engineering team to bring the newest technology to gamers. Partners are signing up fast. That's great, Nvidia. You're getting some great partners signing up fast. You're going to have great engineering efforts, and you're going through. And this partners isn't exclusive. Partners can continue to have the ability to sell and promote products from anyone. Partners choose to sign up for their program and can stop participating at any time. This all sounds great here. That I'm going through and reading this. There's no commitment to make of any monetary payments or products or discounts for being in the program. You know, GPP is just ensuring that engineering and marketing efforts support brands, consumers associated with the GeForce, so that transparency are given to the gamers, confidence so that they know what they have to make their purchase. This sounds great. I read more of that blog post than what I was anticipating, but it sounds like a great thing overall. And I think most people at face value would just be like, yeah, that's a great thing. And then Kyle's article kind of goes into a little bit more, and out of his research of what he got from talking from the OEMs, AIBs, reading some of these partner program commitments that, you know, contracts that people got. And that's where it gets interesting, because he talked to these OEMs and AIBs, and the things that they kind of agreed on overall, they were all individual, off the record, but they think that it has terms that are likely illegal. Okay. I hope that this gets looked into by somebody, but that's never a good thing, right? It's going to hurt consumer choice. I'm a big fan of consumer choice. I like consumer competition. I like consumers to have the ability to go out and get whatever price point they want to the best products, bar none, for whatever they need, right? Consumers should have the choice to have whatever they want, you know, not be stuck into just some slow upgrades year after year, but some innovation for pushing whichever they're trying to buy forward, like a processor. You know, we had a quad-core desktop processor for a long time, too long, And now competition kind of fueled a little bit of more, movement in that sector. And that was great because now we have, 6 cores, 8 cores, becoming mainstream. And that was the benefit of competition. And Kyle also said it's going to disrupt businesses with the companies they're currently doing business with, like AMD and Intel. So disruption of business, that's a company like, Asus or whoever it is, right? That disruption can cause delays, can cause confusion, and is never a good thing. Whenever there's disruption, it's usually never a good thing. And it was really going into Kyle's article even more. He said that the gaming brand aligned exclusively with GeForce. That's one of the main things he got out of it is that with reading all these agreements and stuff, is that the GeForce has to be aligned with a gaming brand. And one little excerpt from here I want to read is that Nvidia will tell you that it's 100% up to its partner company to be part of GPP. And from the documents I've read, that's Kyle speaking here, if it chooses not to be part of GPP, it will lose the benefits of GPP, which includes high effort engineering engagements, early tech engagements, launch partner status, gaming bundles, sales rebate programs, social media and PR support, marketing reports, marketing development funds, and MDF is likely the standout in this list of loss of benefits if the company is not part of GPP. Now that's a quote from Kyle's article there. My bad. That's pretty big because the marketing development funds are huge. They really support and kind of really help get everything off, make sure everything's going, especially when a GPU launches, and kind of helps you sell the GPU. So Kyle over at HardOCP did this great article, and I again encourage you to go and read it. Now, a little bit more is that we learn here that, what are some of the effects of GPP already? Now, it looks like Asus, Gigabyte, and MSI are part of it. Do I know for sure? No. Does anyone know for sure? Yeah, probably those companies. If anyone knows it out there for sure, I'd love to know because, we have to make assumptions, and Nvidia, if you're listening at all, I don't know if this might ever get to you, but perception becomes reality unless you change the perception. And right now the perception is that this is kind of a non-transparent, shady thing, right? We have Asus that basically removed all of their stuff from the ROG line, and now they're going to have a new AMD one called Arez, A-R-E-Z, a new Arez line for the AMD cards. Okay, perception here is that the Asus is part of the GPP program, and that Nvidia had in this agreement what Kyle said of the gaming brand has to be aligned with GeForce, ROG, aligning with GeForce. So it seems to me that they're part of it. And it's hard to deny with what Kyle kind of lists out in his great article there that Asus is not part of GPP, right? And that and since they are, that GPP is transparent and that it's non-restrictive, and partners have any choice they want. Right? If you lose launch partner status, that's huge for a GPU company. A lot of people go buy GPUs on the first day. I was one of them. I am one of them. And it also on that it does look like that HP and Dell seem not to be a part of GPP at this current time. So they're not aligning their gaming brands with Nvidia at this time. Now, could that change? It could very well change. But we'll see. I find this interesting. It kind of backs up a lot of Kyle's article and all the research he did and putting himself out in the line like this and writing this article. Because he may not get any GeForce cards to review, and as he is a reviewer, and as that, that's a dent into what he can do, like launch day status of that GPU card. So I'm hoping that he gets some of these cards to review as they come out. If not from Nvidia, maybe a partner does it, but I'm not going to hold my breath with it. He'd probably buy these cards outside of it and still test them, but he does great work over there. I hope that everyone, goes and continues to support him as well. And shifting a little bit of gears here is that then we also have AMD, and AMD has kind of now responded to the GeForce Partner Program. And I say kind of because they don't really call it out exactly, but they get darn close. The only thing they didn't say was GPP, or GeForce Partner Program. And Scott Herkelman, I apologize, Scott, if I butchered your name. I do apologize for that. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, because the article you wrote and your tweets you sent out were very good. And from what I hear about you is that you really support the gamer and you want a great gaming experiences from everything I've heard. So I do support great gaming experiences like Nvidia says they do as well. But I hope that you're true to your word and this is all transparent. I know you're, I believe now, the corporate vice president of Radeon. I can't remember all the terms, but I think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong in the description below. You guys are great at that on YouTube. That is helpful, and I'll remember it next time. But he wrote an article, and I'll post this link as well in the description below, and about Radeon, a gamer's choice. And it had a freedom to choose pledge. It really wants you the freedom to choose whatever you want to game on. You shouldn't have lock-ins. You shouldn't have to go through and just be stuck with a platform because of one choice you made. You should, like, each upgrade should be a benefit to choose where you want to go. And that's one thing. I hope FreeSync is supported by everybody. Intel, if they ever came out with a GPU, that they support FreeSync. I think that they have one. I think that they want to support it or something. I heard at one point. I don't know, but just being able to support FreeSync, even a Nvidia card, would be great, right? And have that freedom that's built in. And so he kind of cuts on a dedication to open innovation and a commitment to true transparency through industry standards. I'm going to combine these. I'm just put kind of some of my thoughts. I encourage you to go read it, but some of my thoughts is that Radeon wants to be not only open, like have open standards and open software, and I hope that they do more open sourcing of software. I'm kind of getting more into Linux again. Back in high school, I used to use it more, and work stuff I use it, but I'm kind of getting more into it again. It's fun, and it's a great learning experience for me to get back into it. But having that openness, that whole open source community, and having, open standards, and I even see openness as being like transparent to the point of showing us like kind of like what you're doing and what your thoughts are behind it. If something's not going right, let us know and see that openness, or something that was stumbled upon, maybe this software wasn't working quite right, and driver and then we're be open and upfront about what's not happening, because it's always great for us, even in the media, if they're harsh on you right away. I hope that at least I will be more be understanding that you're open up front about it, rather than hiding it and never saying it. Because if you're hiding and never saying it, I hope that you take a harder hit, because that's sketchy to me. It's not being honest. And so also a real partnership with real consistency. And AMD, I really hope that you are improving the partnership in not only gaming, but your driver community, and with Windows and Linux, and getting game support better, and your better support with your GPUs, with your community. I think that that's great, and the AIB partners having great understanding and having freedom. Maybe even get AIBs together to improve a cooler for your reference cards. That would be a great one. So I don't have a jet engine sitting next to me. Liquid coolers. maybe put a liquid cooler on my jet engine, but with Vega here. And I like where you're going with this. I think that it's great. I really kind of excited in hopes that AMD commits to this openness, brings just a whole bunch of stuff out. They have, what is it, the ROCM, ROCm side for machine learning. I think this is great. Let's have that openness. That's the exciting part. And expanding the PC and gaming ecosystem. Let's expand it. Let's bring more stuff in. Let's have more stuff out there. You have Vulkan that it sounds like it's expanding, incorporating like OpenCL stuff and everything else. More open standards. I'm perfectly okay with this. And then let's get them implemented too. Let's have game studios implement them. And AMD, your support just needs to be phenomenal. You just need to put effort into your support so that when people come to you with questions, you're responding right away and everything's just a great experience. As a software developer, it is one of the most frustrating things when you go to a company and that you're using some of their stuff or asking for some of their support and they're unhelpful, right? Let the developer ask questions, you be able to help them so that they can develop and iterate faster. That creates a better game, that creates a better experience for the gamer in the end, and I like that. One thing I do want to quote here that Scott said is that we pledge to put premium high-performance graphics cards in the hand of as many gamers as possible and give our partners the support they need without anti-competitive conditions. Through the support of our add-in board partners and that carry forward the AMD Radeon RX brand, we are continuing to push the industry openly, transparently, and without restrictions. The gamers have access to the best immersive technologies, API, and experience. We believe freedom of choice in PC gaming isn't a privilege, it's a right. So AMD kind of has the ball swinging there at the end there. But the pledge here, I want to see more, and I can't wait. I hope that AMD is setting it up here with the new helm of Radeon, that there will have premium products here very soon. Maybe I'm thinking like 18 months or so is probably the fastest I can get them out. But maybe they'll shock me. But that's going to be the fun part of this, if Radeon can also get all the competition out and get some very high performant graphics cards to compete with Nvidia, plus everything else that's going on with the GPP side, is that this is going to be helpful for them and to get GPP more out in the open as well. Scott also then on Twitter, I want to read this off as well, said, I wanted to personally thank all our resellers who attended our AMD sales event in London. This week was a pleasure of catching up with all of you, and thank you for your support. Many of you told me about how our competition tries to use funding and allocation restrictions to block your ability to market and sell Radeon-based products in the manner you and your customers desire. I want to let you know that your voices have been heard and welcome any other who have encountered similar experiences to reach out to me. Together we can work to ensure that we give gaming what they truly deserve, give gamers what they truly deserve, freedom of choice. That goes back to his article in the ties of freedom of choice. Sorry, I stumbled over a couple of words there. I was trying to get it all in focus for some reason. But the freedom of choice is key. It's going over and reiterating that freedom of choice side of it that he wrote in the article. Now, kind of some of my thoughts on this is I think AMD is taking advantage of the mining stuff that's going on right now and saying, well, basically, we have this short supply of GPUs. If you guys want allocations, you're probably going to want to sign up for GPP, or you might not get any cards. By the way, and going off of some of the stuff that Kyle said in his article, with the whole, hey, you might want to have your allocation and have everything, all your engineering stuff for the first day of launch. Being GPP, we'll be able to make sure that happens. Nvidia is selling cards exclusively. If AIBs don't sign up, we can just sign our cards exclusively through the Nvidia brand. We don't need that. So these are some of the thoughts I'm going through and thinking of as, reading Carl's article and everything else out there that's coming up. So, Intel. How's this? Intel goes through, has a huge fine a couple years ago. What now? Maybe 5, 10, someplace in there, with AMD and doing anti-competitive practices. Sounds familiar with AMD and Intel and Nvidia now. All three. I'm going to group all three of them because I actually think that Intel's the target. And so, like, we have this competition thing that happened a while ago between AMD and Intel. Now we have this competitive thing now. But I think that Nvidia is actually concerned with Intel, with their new chip with AMD graphics on it. And if Intel gets a graphics card and some of the things that they can leverage with their partners, Nvidia doesn't want to be squashed out because, they don't have that big CPU side that Intel has, or a both side of a GPU and a CPU that AMD has. So I'm sure that they've looked at this and they're kind of worried about it as well. But Intel, are they the target? Nvidia is trying to they have a control mechanism, right? And, with the mining and everything else. And are they using that to basically be the 800-pound gorilla in the room? Some of these things, maybe somebody can point me into an answer, see something I missed, because there's a lot of articles out there. And I hope that there's more. I really hope that there's more articles about GPP very soon, and helping. Maybe even Nvidia will do a blog and be transparent about this, right? None of this has really sounded too transparent overall. Hopefully AMD sticks to the transparency and keeps it up and just puts out a whole bunch of stuff about being transparent, openness, open sourcing items. That would be huge. That would be an example of what Nvidia should do, and maybe even push Nvidia in the right direction. But right now, to me, GPP doesn't sound all too transparent since I'm not hearing anything from Nvidia or any of their partners. Are the FTC and EU looking into this? Now, I live in the United States here. Other countries may also be looking into this. Maybe we could go as far as even attorney generals or stuff in each state can be looking at this as well. Yeah. One thing that I've always noticed is that Nvidia has been feuding with companies for years. Now, is this just a culmination of Nvidia feuding and then out trying to protect themselves even more? Or, or are they trying to ingrain themselves in feuding? Because one thing they could do is kind of lift this, be open, and let competition reign over this whole system and just say, okay, let the best competitor win. And maybe we might not win this round, but we're going to come back next year and win the next round. Or win the next round in a couple months. That'd be kind of cool to do and see again. But it almost feels like that their feuding has gotten to them internally. And now they're maybe created this GPP program to continue that. I'm also interested to know, I say kind of a little bit, they're targeting Intel. Now, Intel's been rumored to have a GPU that they're creating. Are they going to be targeting it, or I should say, is Intel going to be targeting Nvidia legally if they find out more about this GPP? That's one option. Intel, AMD is a small company overall compared to, the Nvidia and the Intel, right? And Intel is massive. They are a juggernaut overall. They are quite big overall. It's impressive. So they have the opportunity to kind of go after Nvidia if they want, if they feel like they got enough information to go after them. I'm going to be watching that. I don't cross it off because I think that that's quite a possibility here. One thing, gaming sells too, right? If you were able to remove gaming off of your competitors, I don't know the exact statistics for that. I think Kyle has it in one of his articles on his website about the gaming stats versus non-gaming in selling it with graphics cards and stuff. But overall, you put gaming on a chair, versus a non-gaming chair, they look the same. The gaming one is probably going to sell. Gamers will buy stuff with gaming on them. It's just the way it is. And that hurts anyone that doesn't get to sell, in your gaming brand or whatever. And that's one thing I'm very concerned about. Also, competition, I want to end basically with this, is competition is a great thing. And seeing dedication I want to see dedication from AMD and Intel to the gaming community. on being committed to create the competition needed to further expose GPP if it is a bad actor, or even to create competition so that there's a thing of GPP doesn't have the ability to ever be enacted. Because even if there's laws or anything else on there, companies can still get it in, still run with it for a little while, force companies to do it, and you never know, it may be too late. But I want to make sure that, or I would like to make sure that that never happens, and hopefully AMD and Intel, with whatever they want to do, gets this, helps push it forward so that we never have an item like GPP where gamers have to be restricted in what they're choosing, and they may not get the best choice that they want, or they're stuck into something they don't want, or they're just paying too high a price because everything else, and it's become a monopoly because nothing else is even close. And nothing has the ability to be close or to be sold because they just never get sold. Because if you can't sell a card, your AB is basically just, yeah, we signed this agreement, we have to go with it. All our gaming cards are this, and you just get pushed into a different direction. That's not going to be a great thing for the gamer going forward if there's basically, hey, one price for cards and it's way too darn expensive. So competition, I love competition. I think it's a great thing. So I really hope that this gets cleaned up and put forward. Kyle did an excellent job, and I do encourage you to go over to HardOCP and read that article that Kyle wrote. It's a great article, and read some of the other articles below that I've posted. Go do your own research. Come back and make a comment and let me know what you think about the Nvidia GeForce Partner Program, because right now it's not being transparent to me, not at all. And the more I see the reports and everything else come out, is that Kyle was probably right. He's seen the documents, he's talked to the AIBs and OEMs, and Nvidia, if you ever get this video, if you're listening, be transparent. Work towards making sure your customers know what you're saying and get it all out in the open. It's going to be better for all of us. It'll really help out, and I'll have a better understanding as well as everybody else. So, and I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting Graya Overload and helping this channel grow. I know this video is kind of long. There's a lot of information in here. Go read the articles and everything that I post in the description. And until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Graya Overload. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe.